Prophet Marcello Currents. Back at it, back at it, back at it, back at it. So I'm on this 10-day fast. I say humbly, you know, I'm halfway through, feeling real good, feeling pretty decent. You know, and I just want to keep moving forward. You know, this video is going to be about the Freemasons. Is trying to uphold a credibility that is dead. The Freemasons are trying to uphold a credibility that everybody thought they was, how everybody see them and how everybody look at them. They're trying to uphold a credibility that is dead. So the old Freemason image, back in the olden days, when they was sitting back eating smoky barbecue in Memphis, in front of the community, helping the community, feeding the children hot dogs and chili, that time is gone. We see the Freemason people and community as gang-stalking bastards. And it don't matter what you do, we are not going to change our opinion of you. We know who you really are, and we know how you are, so it's no need to try to go back to this knowledgeable image where you know, you're spitting this knowledge, you're spitting this information to us out here in the community, because we don't care about your information. Let's tell the Freemasons we don't care about their information. We don't care about it because you contradict your information. We don't care nothing about that information that these Freemasons got. Do you care about it? After you find out and you get down to the crust of the matter and you find out that it's the Freemasons that's gang stalking you, do you care about their information? You don't. I don't. I don't care about their information. I don't care about nothing they got to say. I don't care nothing about what they doing, how much they done in the community. See, that's how bad it is when you contradict yourself. Coming out here gang stalking people that ain't done nothing. Coming out here gang stalking people that don't fit the narrative that you put out in the community. Playing with people for fun. Listen, ain't no way you're gonna play with us for fun and hold to some other narrative. Right? Like you some good upstanding organization that's helping the community. You the ones that destroyed the community. This is why, ironically, the Freemasons supposed to build, right? They supposed to build, be builders. They call themselves builders, right? Well, this time you did not build. And ain't nothing you can do in the right mind to change that narrative. They came out here and you did not build. You destroyed your community. Ironically, in the end, these Freemasons destroyed the community. They did not build it up. Everything they built, they destroyed. In an instant. Playing with a prophet. You should have knew that anybody come like Jesus, anybody with the energy of Jesus, the Freemasons are going to be the ones that play with that person. If you know how they are, arrogant with this information, like they the only ones that got a brain in the world, like they the only one that ponder higher education and higher information, like they the only ones that do it. This arrogant mindset, like they the only ones that do it, right? Let me tell you something. Let me make something very clear. God is going to destroy you for playing with his prophet. And we know that it will be nobody else but you to play with a prophet, to play with someone like Jesus, and to play with people like Jesus. It's going to be you that think you know information and think you know everything. It's going to be you, and it was you, that played with those people and destroyed the community and brought the world to the end. The Freemasons are the ones that brought everything to an end. And I believe personally, all of this is premature judgments from God. This wasn't supposed to happen this quick. It wasn't. See, there are some people with the mindset of fate, F-A-T-E, fate, and they just drive me up the wall. They think everything that happened is fate, instead of realizing that with men's free will, they caused these problems. That's what it was. Gang stalking. The Freemasons caused COVID-19. Yes, they did. The Freemasons caused COVID-19. Yes, they did. Because they gang stalked the prophet. They put a STD in the body of a prophet, and God responded. The Freemasons was involved in that. I know, because the person that put the STD in my body, he worked for a Freemason. How a Freemason just happened to be around and they ain't got nothing to do with it? Come on now. The odds are, if you're working for a Freemason at a normal occupation, but me and you living together and you happen to put an STD in my body, the Freemasons that you work for had something to do with it. You affiliated with the Freemasons, so they was part of that. Okay, so let me tell you something. You can't blame nobody in my family. You can't blame nobody in the community but yourself. You got to blame your Freemason self. That's what you got to do. When you blame your Freemason self, when you really put the blame where it belongs, and you blame your Freemason self, you would have been in a better situation. Okay? You came out here with the police Freemason, you came out here with the whole Freemason community, and you played yourself. God showed you he can destroy your whole community. This is why we got to shut down the systems, because the Freemasons is all in the country. See, really how you need to hear it is this. Freemasons are embedded. It is the oldest sorority in the community. Excuse me. It's the oldest fraternity in the community. The Freemason community is the oldest fraternity in the community. Okay, so do you know how long they've had to form? This is why we know it's them, and we don't care about no other name that other people trying to talk about. No, we looking at the organization that has been here the longest. They had all these decades, and I do mean decades, to build and craft their community all within our community. They've had years. What they've been building is their organization within our community. They're in every state, they're in every city, they're everywhere. In America, they're everywhere. That's all it is them. It's no secret. We know it's the Freemasons. We know that. You ain't fooling us with using any other name. See, I think some of them use the Illuminati name to throw you off the Freemason name. They use the Illuminati name and all of that, but really it's the Freemasons. But because if anybody found out it was them, then they gonna look at them differently in the community. They ain't gonna look at them the same when they come out trying to hold these charity meetings and these organizations and all of this stuff. They ain't gonna look at them the same. They not. So they can't use their name. They can't say, oh, it's a contest against the Freemasons. You against the Freemasons. We're the Freemasons. You got to read between the lines. Who you think been here the longest? Who you think was able to organize all of this gang stalking? The Freemasons. They're everywhere. And if you're my age or older, if you're at least in your 40s or older, right? You already know by now that the Freemasons are in every part of life, in every walk of life. They're in every walk of life. And so when you're being gang stalked, all they got to do, all these Freemasons got to do is make all these calls and call around here and call around there. And, you know, they're going to follow you everywhere. Because they are already everywhere, because it's the oldest fraternity in this country. It's the oldest fraternity. So if you don't know why this stuff is so sophisticated and goofy, right? It's everywhere. Because these same people, even though they use young faces and all of that, listen, we don't care nothing about them young Freemasons. Because their efforts is not what pulled this together. It is the efforts of them having decades and decades and decades and decades to build themselves within America. That's all it is. It's not even a certain person's wielding of power, or a certain race of people wielding a power, or whoever it is in front of you that's a Freemason. It's not even them as an individual, their individual wielding of power. This is years and decades of this filthy fraternity called Freemasons being built in our community. And in the last days, they became corrupt. In these final hours of the world, they became dirty and filthy, and they wanted to fit in with the community as far as the new culture community. See, it's the young Freemasons that got them in trouble. No, let's ponder that. That's 7 out. You know what got them in trouble? The young Freemasons. All these young Freemasons that try to act like that was a gang. They try to act like, yeah. All these young Freemasons that come from these strange families. You know they strange in their family. Can't you imagine? Can't you imagine living with them Freemasons? You know they was raised strange, wasn't they? You know they strange, right? But these young Freemasons, in all their strange upbringing, thought they would come over here and come into the community and smoke a spliff in the community with the community, and they would be cool out here riding and jiving, full of jive time turkeys, right? And thought they would come out here smoking and drinking full of jive, And ain't them little young Freemasons full of jive? They full of jive, ain't they? Listen, man, you full of jive. You thought you was gonna come out here to the community and play with us, man. Listen, we been in the streets. We been cool. I know when people full of jive, these Freemasons full of jive. Listen, man, they came out to the community and thought they would be cool and fit in, and thought they would be a gang. They chose the mentality of the culture as Freemasons to come out here and pull up on people and to be savages, right? This is the young Freemasons. They took certain mindsets from the culture that they was gonna pull up on us and all of that and everything, right? And they was gonna be savages. And they thought they was gonna come out here and display that mentality from a Freemason format of riding around doing what Freemasons doing with their network as savages, as people trying to pull up on people or spin the block, all that new stuff that these young Freemasons have seen in the community. They thought they would apply certain mindsets and dynamics from the American culture and nothing would happen to them. They the ones that got the whole Freemason community in trouble. It was mostly the young community. It was mostly young Freemasons, I guarantee you. Can't you see that? It was young Freemasons. So that's the more sophisticated level of the conversation. The more sophisticated conversation is that it's the young Freemasons that got all the Freemasons in trouble. It wasn't no old people coming out here. Think about it. It wasn't no old people gang stalking. No, it wasn't. More than anything else, it was these young Freemasons that got that community in trouble. It was the young Freemasons. Okay? And then what they tried to do was go back to the credibility of the old Freemasons. But you got liabilities from the young Freemasons. Okay? So it ain't no need to show us when you allowed it to happen. Ain't no need for you to show us when you didn't chastise your own community correctly. Ain't no need for you to show us the old Freemasons anymore. We don't care about that. We're stuck on what the young Freemasons did, and you know they did it. It was the young Freemasons that did it. Okay? They got Freemasons in the Hispanic and Latino community, in the African American community, in the white community. They're going to use your own race of people as Freemasons against you. This is why it's a war between the righteous Africans and the wicked Africans. The wicked Africans being part of the Freemasons. Hispanic and Latinos that are wicked are part of the Freemasons. White Americans that are wicked are part of these Freemasons. This is what it is. And so on and so on and so on. All these different races of people, Indians and Asian people, all part of these Freemasons. Okay? And it don't matter what they think about us. I don't care if you thought you beat me in my mind psychologically. Anyway, I don't care. What you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing as a community. But really, we're always just guarded according to the war. We're never defeated. We're not defeated. Listen, man, they throwing stuff at our minds, and we know that. They trying to trigger. See, they try to trigger on your words. Like pull up. They might use the pull ups. When you use that term in the culture, they gonna flip it around and use pull up the diapers instead. But you using pull up as in the car, like to pull up on somebody with violence. But they gonna trigger on that word and use pull ups as the diapers. You know, a little commercial with the diaper pull ups. Yeah, I know every little thing they do. So they use terms to trigger your mind. They use terms and things they can flip around to trigger your mind. Okay? Little lame wizards. But these Freemasons are coming to an end. Okay? And so when they do that with these psychological triggers of words, we are guarded in our minds. We are guarded in our psychology against the last attack that they did. So when we see the images in our mind of the last attack, it doesn't mean that we're guilty of what they initially tried to be successful about in the first place, which was to make you give in to these weird thoughts. So you didn't give in to it the first time, you didn't give in to it the second time. You're just guarded towards the same image. So when these terms come up that they triggered on, and you see the images behind it, it doesn't mean you're guilty. You're just guarded as you proceed with that. Your mind is protecting you. It's a way that your mind is protecting you from the last attack when they try to trigger on that same word, right? That's all it is. Or they're throwing the attack again as you use the same word. Or you're guarded from the last time that they try to trigger on that word. They try to trigger on word, numbers, colors, and they go into your personal life and trigger on things in your personal life, in your psychology. This is why we're no longer worried about no psychological stuff. In 2027, going into 2027, we are not worried about no psychological mumbo jumbo from no Freemasons. Okay? This is why. Now you understand when I named the group that's responsible for the gang stalking. The main group is the Freemasons. Okay. So now you see why the systems have to be shut down, because the Freemasons are all in the system. So how you gonna shut down Freemasons without shutting down the systems? They rely on the systems. A Freemason ain't nothing without the systems. You shut down the systems, you shut down Freemasons. You shut down all these systems in America. What a Freemason gonna be? Another person out here trying to survive. And I guarantee you they ain't gonna be worried about you when the system's being shut down. They will no longer be worried about you. Now you see what we dealing with. See, when I tell you the group, if you're, like I said, if you're my age, if you're in your 40s or older, I'm pretty sure you either had a Freemason in your family or in your surrounding areas. You've been acquainted with them in some form or fashion, right? After your 40s. So you know how far they go. You know they're everywhere. They're all over the whole community, right? So with that being said, when I tell you that God is going to shut the systems down because of the gang stalkers, which are the Freemasons, then it's easy to understand why the whole systems have to be shut down, because these Freemasons are in every part of our community. So how you going to beat them without shutting down the systems? We have to shut down the systems. We have to. It has to be shut down. It has to be, bro. It has to be. It has to be, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just what it is. It has to be shut down. You know what I'm saying? It has to be. It has to be shut down. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you gotta understand that. You gotta look at it this way. You know what I'm saying? This system have to be shut down because of the Freemasons. Now you get it. See, when I say it like that, it makes all the sense in the world. The systems of America have to be shut down because of the Freemasons. See how that feels? It feels right? While I'm on this 10-day fast, it feels real right. It feels real right to say that these Freemasons have shut down the community. The systems have to be shut down because of their actions of gang stalking. It don't matter if they was right about us or not. At some point, it was not wisdom. Why they think they got all the wisdom and information and knowledge in the world? Well, then why didn't your wisdom tell you that you went too far as stupid Freemasons? If you got all this wisdom, why your wisdom didn't tell you you went too far, dummy? You wasn't gonna prove no point. We don't think nothing of you anyway. We don't know no notable Freemason in our community. You ain't never come out. We ain't never know you. You ain't never come out to our community. Ask black people what Freemason they know that we respect. Jesse Jackson, we didn't respect Jesse Jackson. We know he was a Freemason. Did you respect? Did he say anything notable to you? Did he say anything worthwhile that you respected? Nope. You can't really show me no Freemason. You could say Martin Luther King Jr. was a Freemason, but he was influenced by Freemasons. His granddaddy and his dad was a Freemason, as far as Martin Luther King Jr. go. Now, it was a procedure that I heard that they made him a Freemason after his death, which it was called a Freemason after on sight. Seeing a Freemason, making a Freemason in sight, something like that, right? So with that being said, he basically is a Freemason. Martin Luther King Jr. was, right? So do we still care about, do we feel like he stood for the Freemasons? He didn't. In your American community, you never had one Freemason that we respected. Show me one that came out and gave us all this information, intellectual information, like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X. Show us somebody like that that's a Freemason. Why y'all think y'all so wise, and and full of knowledge and information. Show me somebody that came out to our community and informed the community. I'm showing y'all. They brought nobody out here, but they act like they stand for information. Well, if you stand for so much information and wisdom and knowledge, then why you ain't come out here and give it to the community? If that's your lane, if your lane is this information, then why you ain't come out to the community then? Why black people can't tell you one notable Freemason that we respect? Tell us about one notable Freemason that we all respect. We don't respect no Freemasons. I can show you Christians that we respect. I can show you Muslims that we even respect, like Malcolm X, Louis Farrakhan. Show me a Freemason that we respect that is was openly a Freemason, that came out to the community and said, I'm a Freemason, this is what we stand for, here's our information to the community. See, that's how you should have knew they was weirdos from day one. Well, how come they ain't never had nobody come out to the community and give us information and open their mouth and tell us what they stand for? The truth is, we never knew you. Us that are not Freemasons, we never knew you. So how would you help humanity without communicating with humanity? You can't just hand out money. They love to do that. They love to go hand out money at charities and all of that. But they ain't never communicated to our community, like the Christians and the Muslims and other people and activists and all of that. Man, Jesse Jackson, look how corrupt he was. He got arrested and everything, put in jail, him and his wife. I found that out recently. He got thrown in jail and everything. That's the only Freemason I know. And nobody ain't have respect for no Jesse Jackson. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. We ain't have no respect for no Jesse Jackson. And he was a Freemason. What that tell you? Well, wherever his teachers was, it didn't profit him to become a noble, moral man. How is it? It's always this same paper trail of corruption with these Freemasons. They all corrupt and they want to be around the real prophet, don't they? I don't want nothing to do with no Freemasons. So you can sweat me like you sweat MLK, but I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. Because we gonna hold you to who you really are. Not who you want to be. Not who you want to be. No, we gonna hold you to who you really are, reality. You came out here as Freemasons talking about pedophiles, telling the community I was a pedophile. But you as Freemasons are just now cleaning up. You're just now cleaning up child marriage in America, right? You think I'm stupid? You ain't know, as Freemasons, you didn't really initially know about child marriage until the prophet came on the scene. You know how I know? Because if you knew about it, this is what a smart person gonna tell you. If you knew about child marriage laws, then you wouldn't have never came out here as Freemasons. That's how we know you ain't know. See, only a smart person understands that. Well, if you knew, then why'd you come out here then? You would know that, well, the Americans are marrying children. The Americans are even having sex with animals. We know this information. So we ain't gonna come out here on nobody. But you didn't do that. That's how we know. That's the telltale signs we knew you didn't know anything about it. So you can act like it's your information that you're spreading around now as Freemasons. But listen, in heaven, I'm gonna get credit from God and Jesus and the Holy Ghost for being the ones that really informed this community. You could play it like, see, that's it right there. That's 7 out. You could come out here and play it like you the reason why everybody know. We know the prophet is the one that caused everybody to know this information. Now you're trying to get rid of it. I guarantee you the Freemasons are behind trying to act like they the ones talking about this information, and they the ones that made this that like found this information. You found this out because of the prophet. And that's why I don't respect you. Because you didn't give me my respect for informing your little dumb Freemason community about y'all marrying children in the United States of America. No, you didn't. You didn't give me no respect for it. The respect is you go get lost after you know this country is marrying children, and the person you accused as Freemasons, you accused me, right? He the one telling y'all about y'all marrying children in America. I'm the one telling everybody. So how you respect that person is you go and get lost. You didn't do that, did you? You lose, buddy. You lose. You lose. You played yourself, sucker. See, the truth is, you little dumb, little ugly Freemasons want to be as special as me, and you not. Listen, man, listen. I told you already. As Freemasons, I don't respect none of you. I don't respect no Freemasons. It ain't one Freemason I respect. Ain't no Eastern Stars I respect. Ain't no Shriners I respect. Ain't no one women order of Freemasons I respect. I don't respect no Freemasons. You heard it from the horse's mouth. I don't respect no Freemasons. Okay? Say it in plain, clear, plain sight. Plain sight, I don't respect no Freemasons. We exposing you for who you are. You are the community behind all of this, and you've been lying, cloaking yourself behind all these other names. But the truth is, the only reason you did that, and you called yourself all these other names, so nobody wouldn't put the blame on you. So nobody wouldn't put the blame of the gang stalking on you. It ain't nothing but the Freemasons. See, what needs to be said more than anything else, who is the organization behind it? It's the young Freemasons that thought they would be cool and and they weirdos, and ain't nobody really embracing them like they expected. Ain't nobody embracing them weirdos. All they doing is embracing the money that they got, the sex and the weed and the drugs that they got. They ain't embracing them as a community. They ain't embracing them as individuals, as individual Freemasons. We ain't got no love for no Freemasons. You hearing it from a prophet's mouth, from the spiritual warfare elite of God's kingdom. We do not respect no Freemasons at all. I don't respect them at all. Okay? You've been exposed by the prophet. And if Jesus was in this time, Jesus would have a problem with the Freemasons. I guarantee you that. Because they the ones that think they know everything. That's what I'm trying to show you. In their arrogance, they think they the ones that got all this information and got all this stuff going on. But yet they really did not affect our community. We really didn't never know these people. But you can't tell them that. They're going to point to all this stuff they done in the community. That's what they're going to do. But it's more than that you have to do to be really a people for the people. You have to come out here and inform the people in broad daylight and let us see your face, and you did not do that. You did not have no speakers. You did not have no people that do it. That's why we don't respect you. I don't respect no Freemasons at all. And I'm looking you right in your face. I don't respect no Freemasons. I don't respect none of you. I don't respect none of you. We hate the Freemasons. Okay? We hate you. Because we realize you would have did this to Jesus. Just like the Pharisees. The Pharisees were the ones. Go look it up in the Bible. The Pharisees were the ones that were against Jesus. If Jesus was here, Freemasons are nothing but modern day Pharisees. That's it. And most Christians gonna agree with that. They are modern day Pharisees. They think they got all the information just like the Pharisees did. They thought they was knowledgeable and all of this, and they was behind wanting to kill Jesus. And the Freemasons are the same way. The Freemasons are modern day Pharisees. As a matter of fact, in the future, I'll probably be doing a video about that. The Freemasons are the modern day Pharisees. They are. Okay, that's it. They played themselves. They thought they was the best of the best, and they found out they wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And what I think is they probably, low key, they probably thought they was better than Christians. Christians are lazy. We the ones doing everything. They stupid and lazy. I guarantee you that's what they insinuate. They ain't got nothing. They stupid and lazy and they ain't got nothing. We the builders of the community. Well, you played yourself as builders of the community by destroying the community. You destroyed the community, didn't you? Listen, man, ain't no way in the world you gonna get that prestige, fake credibility back that you once had in the 90s and the 80s and all that time. That time is gone. We know the Freemasons was behind gang stalking all in this community. Everybody keep naming the Freemasons over and over again. All these targeted individuals that's being gang stalked, all of them keep naming the Freemasons over and over and over again. Okay? Go look online with these people that's being gang stalked, these targeted individuals. They all are naming the Freemasons as the perpetrators. And see how it works is they got the police in their hand wrapped around their fingers. So you can't even go to the police when you talking about no Freemasons. No, you can't. No. They got Freemason police in every state. That's they foot soldiers. They the one. That's why you see them police cars. If you being gang stalked, I'm gonna tell you something. You gonna see a whole bunch of police cars. You're gonna see a whole bunch of police cars. What you think that is? That's the Freemason police. That's all it is. Listen, maybe you didn't notice this. This is why I want you to, if you're being gang stalked, I want you to open up your mind. I want you to open up your eyes. Keep your brain on a swivel, not your head. Keep your brain. People got their head on the swivel, but their brain ain't on the swivel. Keep your brain on a swivel. You got your head moving all around, but your brain ain't on the swivel. Stupid. Still looking around, but stupid. Keep your brain on a swivel. I coined that one right there. Keep your brain on the swivel. Why you see all these police all around you all the time, every time you come out here? Every time you come out here, you see police all around. Those are the Freemason police. When you turn the corner, there's a police car. When you go get your food, there's a police car parked out across the street from you. Look at how the police is all around you. If you're being gang stalked, they're using Freemason police. You can't trust no police no more. That time is done. These are the final hours. This is the true last days. And we can't even... Police done destroyed their reputation. That's another institution. That's another organization that has destroyed their reputation by using Freemason police. The American police ain't no good no more for us as God's people. No. All these Freemason police that was against us and used against us all around the country, we ain't got no love for no police. We ain't got no respect for them. I don't respect the police. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you do. You work for Babylon anyway. You work for Sodom and Gomorrah anyway. I don't care what you do. So we don't care about no Freemasons. Okay? We know that you caused all these problems. We know you did. Oh yeah, you did. And now the prophet is exposing it for short. So for short, don't think about no Skull and Bones, Illuminati, and all these other groups. Wolfhead and all these other groups. Nah, we ain't Scroll and Key. Nah, we ain't talking about none of that. We're talking about Freemasons. They the ones that use the police all around us and everything. And if you see these police cars around you and you don't think it mean nothing, listen, I'm telling you it does. It does mean something. So it's these police Freemasons that are out here doing the groundwork with the gang stalkers. Okay? So from this point forward, moving into 2027, we no longer trust police. We know the Freemasons are using the police against us as God's people. They're using the police against God's people. They're utilizing the police of America against God's people. That's what the Freemasons are doing. Okay, this is why the system, now you see, this is why the systems have to be shut down. It has to be done. It has to be. There's no way around it. We gotta shut down the systems. All right, God is gonna do it. We're gonna fast for escalation of wars. We're gonna fast for escalation of wars against the Freemasons. Now that's the punchline. We fasting and giving offerings and praying in the Holy Ghost that severe escalation of wars happen against the Freemasons. Okay, so for God's true people, salute. Over and out.